Good evening, Brian Pop Robson here. We're in a dodgy camera that's out of focus, but anyway, let me turn around down the media on. Sorry, I've got the volume up on the media. Let me turn that down. You can have that in the background, but not important. Let's talk about Expat Taffy. Is that right? He's cramming comments on YouTube at the moment. You know, I think he's trying to get a rise out of me. I mean, that's just today. There's over 30 or 40 comments on there, basically on Apollo Detectives channels, calling me a coward, a twat, insane, excuses, zoom. The man's mad. Taffy, let's get this straight. If you want a debate with me, it's not going to happen in front of your 41 subscribers on your channel on a Zoom chat. If we're going to do this, we're going to have a full interactive debate. Now, that does involve moderation, and I'm quite happy to have Creaky Blinder do that for me. He won't get involved. It won't be me and him against you. It will be me against you. Now, as for your other concern about side chats, the side chat you ignore. There is nothing on there. It's literally people who are watching the video making their own little comments. So it won't be stopped to answer comments on the video, because Creaky does have it's his not his sole source of income, but it's his source of income. He gets through chats and he'll just read them out at some points, but in between what we're saying. So basically, you get 5 minutes. I get 5 minutes debunking you. You get a further 5 minutes. I get a further 5 minutes, etc. Going backwards and forwards between the two of us. It's all live, all with our voices, our faces, not pictures. Where do you even get that idea from? You're insane. You really are mad. Plus, it is recorded by YouTube itself. It goes into the live section of your channel. Yeah, so it stays up on YouTube. It doesn't disappear after the live broadcast. It stays there. So, I mean, if you wanted to download it afterwards, you could. There's nothing to stop you doing that. So, your objections are ridiculous, Taffy. Okay, let's take up one of your other little issues. You've been turning around and saying that I've been using a sock puppet ID that I've just made up. No, Taffy. Look, let's cut this out straight away. Okay, let's move that down there. See that? Joined August the 7th, 2013. Now, what that was that YouTube was taken over by Google, and they were trying to force people into using Google Plus. So essentially what it done is it set up a user account for you on Google Plus, and it tried to force you into using it when you was doing chats on YouTube. Yeah, and you remember the little circles you had chat circles that you spoke to people. I didn't even notice this had been done. Yeah, and it was only a year later that I was logged in, and I noticed that my videos had disappeared. It was only when I went to log off to log back in to see if I could find them again that I noticed that the second channel was underneath it with all my videos on. Yeah, it uses the same email account, which you're not allowed to do now. So you're not allowed to have two channels with the same email account, and they log on together. As soon as I log in to one, it logs into the other. So you know it's not a sock puppet account. As further proof of this, let's have a look. Let me just go somewhere else. Where did I have that? I had that here. Just give me a second. The dangers of doing these things live. Not that I mind doing things live, and this is exactly what you can do when you got the debate. If you want to show a video in the background like I'm doing, if you want to have interactive comments, you can. If you want to go onto a browser, you can, etc. This is what the great thing about interactive debates are. Yeah, you can do all this. Yeah, no problem at all. But if you wanted a Zoom chat, you literally can't do this. Okay, where did that go? Right, so there we go. This is an article on what I was just talking about. And if we go down to here to YouTube, this is perhaps the most well-known example of false Google Plus use in 2013 when my channel got created. YouTube announced that users would be required to use their Google Plus account in order to leave comments on the platform, and that's exactly what they did. They associated YouTube with Google Plus, by giving you a second account. So what you're saying about it being a sock puppet account is, I've got 2 accounts, Taffy, and they're both called Brian Pop Robson. So how can it be a sock puppet account? I mean, let's look at you. Expat Taffy 1, Expat Taffy, Basil Brush, Expat Taffy 1, ha ha ha, Champ versus Chumps. You had one called Bertie Jackass. You've got loads of accounts, so don't tar me with the brush that you've got yourself, mate. You are a user of sock puppets, and you try to get away with using them to say that you're someone else, but you are such an idiot that you can't even do that. You can't even hide a sock puppet account because you don't know how to. Let's get this debate on. This is the last video I'll do of this nature because it's not worth it. You're just insane, and I will prove that by debating you.